The wedding procession moved slowly through the narrow street, drums beating, lights flickering, people smiling. From the outside, it looked like any other celebration, but standing a few steps away from the crowd was a man who did not smile. His back was bent not just by age, but by years of quiet defeat. Every few minutes, he stepped toward someone passing by and spoke softly. "Please, for my daughter's wedding." Some people paused. Some dropped a coin without looking at his face. Others walked past, pretending not to hear. No one recognized him as the bride's father. Raghov had once been a tailor in this same town. He stitched school uniforms, repaired torn shirts, and worked late nights under a single bulb. His wife died early, leaving him alone with his daughter Mira. From that day on, his life became simple and sharp. Feed, teach, protect. Mira grew up watching her father skip meals so she could eat well. She never heard him complain. When school fees increased, he took on extra work. When his eyesight weakened, he stitched slower. When his hands began to shake, he hid them in his lap. He promised her one thing: "When you get married, I will give you respect, not riches, but respect costs money too." When the wedding date was fixed, Raghov sold everything he could: his sewing machine, his old watch, even his wedding ring. Still, it wasn't enough. Relatives helped a little, but loans were refused. Time ran out. So on the morning of his daughter's wedding, Raghov made a decision he had avoided all his life. He stood outside the hall, where no one would look too closely, and began to beg. Each word cut him deeper than hunger ever had. "Please, just a little help." As guests arrived in clean clothes and polished shoes, Raghov kept his eyes down. He could not risk being recognized. Not today. Not on the one day his daughter had dreamed of. Inside the hall, Mira sat dressed as a bride, surrounded by laughter and music, but her heart felt restless. She kept looking toward the entrance. "Where is Papa?" she asked again. "He must be busy," someone replied, but a strange heaviness settled in her chest. She remembered her father once standing in the rain for hours outside her school, just so she wouldn't walk home alone. He was never late, never missing. She lifted her heavy veil and stood up. Outside, Raghov's cloth bag felt heavier, not with money, but with shame. His knees hurt, his throat burned. Then he heard a familiar voice. "Papa." He froze. Slowly, he looked up. Mira stood there, her bridal clothes glowing under the lights, tears already filling her eyes. For a moment, the world stopped. She saw the bag in his hands. She saw his bare feet. She saw the truth. The bag slipped from Raghov's fingers. "I didn't want you to see this," he whispered, his voice breaking for the first time in years. "I just wanted your wedding to happen with dignity." Mira walked toward him and held his hands tightly. "Do you know what dignity is?" she said, her voice shaking but firm. "It's you, standing here, doing this for me." The people around them grew silent. "You begged so I could walk with my head held high," she continued. "Then don't bow your head now." She turned to the crowd. "This is my father," she said loudly, "the man who raised me alone. The man who never begged for himself, but did for me." No one moved. Then one person stepped forward, then another. Money was offered not as charity, but with respect. Some lowered their eyes, some wiped their tears. Raghov tried to speak, but Mira hugged him tightly. "Today," she whispered, "you didn't lose anything. You gave me everything." The wedding went on. Music played. Rituals were completed. But something had changed. Raghov walked beside his daughter with his back a little straighter. He had begged with his hands, but he had never begged with his soul. And that day, a father proved that sometimes the greatest pride is hidden inside the deepest sacrifice. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please share it and subscribe for more content that touches the heart.